Hello everyone. Today is 18th of December 2015. Time is going quickly, and I will do again to give you the headlines of the Turkish news and tell you what's happening here in this country. As usual, we start with the Hürriyet, the popular newspaper here, and looking at the headlines, we are going to look at a few that I have chosen here as news for you. First things first, Russia is continuing bringing measures in their terms against Turkey. So for Turkish citizen, as of the 1st of January 2016, for those who want to go to Russia, they will have to pay a visa, which they didn't last year, but then in the new year they have to pay a visa. While Turkey is still not charging any visas from the Russian citizen. And Russia is demonstrated another press meeting, opening the black box of the fallen Su-24, the Russian air fighter. So they have claimed a lot of details were revealed here, but not yet exactly as they say that 3 of the chips were damaged. The Russian authorities say that because the aircraft was shot from the behind, so that's why. But they are claiming that it has not entered the Turkish borders. So, but not sure exactly if it has or not. There is a Chinese and English experts there and an Indian expert there as independent observers for this case of opening the black box. That's something there. In the Parlamento, something interesting has happened because Özcan Purçu is actually one of the ministers, and he has taken a speech in the Parlamento. And something about Mr. Özcan is that he's a gypsy. So when there were meetings about the treasury of the country, Özcan Purçu has please, for God's sake, he says, everybody loves the gypsies, and we are the poorest of the country, so we want some financial support to go towards the gypsies. Please, can you help us? And well, actually, he has had a funny way of speech, obviously, as gypsies do, and he has made all the opposition and the ruling ministers all having a laugh together. So that was something a bit relaxing, not a fight, at least in the parliament. So again, there is something about, in the Hürriyet newspaper, there's something about Putin, the leader of Russia. Actually, he's claimed to be one of the strongest trolls, on the social media of the world, because he's always supported the felonies in the Western world. He's now supporting Donald Trump. Before, he has supported the North Korean ex-leader Kim Jong-il, and of course Assad he's supported, and he's always been supporting the leaders or the powerful people who are actually not supported by the Western world. So at the end of this article here in the Hürriyet newspaper, it says, do you think that Putin is doing this because he just wants to take a piss with the Western world, or he actually thinks and supports these people? So I also chose that he's doing this against the Western world, not that he believes this idiots anyway. He's a clever guy. Right now we come to the next news. This is about the daily life, because there's something happening with the egg and the regulation in terms of marketing the eggs. They want every and each egg to be printed with the last with an expiry date on it, which most of the producers in Turkey are against this, because they say they're not ready to go for something like this, and they will lose, in this case, they will lose a lot of, like 20 million eggs a daily product will go to trash can. So these regulations must be thought more thoroughly. You see, our media for the last, at least since the plane event, it's been like everything about it is what's happening with us in Russia. So here, 20 tons of fruits and vegetables were distributed freely to the people. This is in a small town, but where they have mass production of mainly fruits and vegetables. These goods were supported to be exported to Russia, but because of the quota now that Russia is having with Turkey, they have been freely distributed to people. A very large amount of fruits and vegetables have been distributed to people. We go into the main headlines to see if we got anything important. The PKK terrorists have actually hijacked an ambulance. It's Shirnak in the east of the country, where an ambulance belonging to the state hospital, Idil State Hospital, has been kidnapped by PKK terrorists. It's they are in the last days. They are trying to weaken all kind of main needs for the daily life, like hospitals, schools. You remember news about the schools? The most of the schools are not actually providing any sort of education to the kids over there, and now the hospitals are being attacked and the ambulances are being hijacked. This is just to stop the daily life and make people fear and run away from the area. They want that area to be evacuated, and then many other worse and horrible plans to come following that. And again, let's like Turkey has been able to manufacture and produce new weapons. Well, I'm not interested in weapons very much. So, Istanbul, it's interesting to know that Istanbul is a big city, and there are a lot of art stuff going in there as well. And this guy is Bogdan Girbovan is a photographer, and he's world famous, and he's got a very interesting apartment in Istanbul, and he lives with his family over there. Just a little bit of Istanbul news, and then we go into having a look at the other newspapers as well. You see, Sözcü has brought something, a nice example, because these people have been fighting for the last 9 years to stop the hydroelectric central, the power plant, the hydroelectric power plant that was supposed to be built in Rize, in the north of the country, in the Black Sea area, in the Senos Valley, which is a very beautiful valley, but it was going to obviously change the whole nature of the area, change all the fauna, and this, each time they have this hydroelectric power plants, They need an art. There automatically is an artificial lake, which is changing the whole environment and the fauna. So these people have been fighting, going to courts for the last 9 years, and actually they have finally managed to stop with the last decision coming from the courts. They have managed to stop the power plant, which is a good news, obviously. You can see here again on the Sözcü newspaper that the hospitals are being attacked in Cizre, and the doctors have managed hardly to save their lives. You see, there are 10,000 soldiers, military force in the area in our own country trying to fight with the PKK terrorists, mainly again in Cizre and Silopi, and the state hospitals now are not functioning in these areas. Actually, maybe not all of it in the news, but we know that there is kind of people of the area are evacuating the area, because we hear that other towns now are receiving a lot of these people going into their other members of the families in the other part of the country, unfortunately. Now we go to the Republican newspaper, 18th December 2015, the last days of this year, and a lot of things is happening. This is about the Russian black box again. In Diyarbakir, east of the country, protests, gas bombs, tear gas, all going again, unfortunately. In Russia, the Guarantee Bank, which is a very strong bank in Turkey, their branch office in Russia actually was kind of invaded by the Russian tax authorities, and they have even forced these people, the manager of the bank, to open their safes, and this is unbelievable. So Russia is really enforcing a lot on the Turkey. It's no good. I don't know where it's gonna go. This shouldn't be like this. Yeah, we are having a peace truce, not truce because we weren't really fighting, but the relations between Turkey and Israel is becoming a bit better than what it is at the moment, because we have meetings held in Zurich, and obviously the embassies are getting more people to work in the embassies, and they want to make a deal. The thing is, there was a incident with Israel about where there was an aid boat, an aid ship which carried a lot of aid. It was supposed to go to Gaza, and then the Israeli naval military forces, they stopped this ship, and now Israel has agreed to pay a huge amount of recompensation for this, about 20 to 23 million dollars, just to make Turkey be quiet and not go into the courts against Israel anymore, to promise that they won't bring this up again. Well, just Israel wants to pay and quiet this matter. Well, and then we look at the Cumhuriyet, again, the Republican newspaper, which doesn't like the government very well and brings up any little detail. One of them is the lady here is a minister, AKP party deputy in charge of something. When she started her speech, she says, "Biz hırsız değiliz demiyoruz," which means, the exact translation of this is, we are not saying we are not thieves. So this is really had a bounce. This was really all over the social media and Twitter and everywhere. Because this idiot Minister of the AKP says, well, she really says that they are thieves, and we know. The thief story is mainly dependent on the 17th, 15th of December 2 years ago, where 4 of the ministers they were raided to their houses, and they found millions of euros and dollars in the shoe boxes hidden in the house. And it's not going to be forgotten. We all know that these ministers are thieves, and Cumhuriyet keeps reminding that to us. Thanks to Cumhuriyet, the NATO is going to kind of take control of the Turkish military operations. Well, because obviously they don't want us to go into a deeper mess with Russia, because Russia doesn't want to walk away from the area. So there's an AWACS system, like a radar system, which will kind of implement a control mechanism over in the area, I believe. Yeah, apart looking at the higher headlines to see anything interesting. Prime Minister likes social media, so he's been online on Facebook. I'm not going to see what he said really. Yeah, the others are just more of daily events. If you look at the economy, we wonder what's happening with the economy. We can see that main headline in the economy is that Russia is raiding over the Turkish banks in Russia. Then there was a critical meeting regarding the natural gas, because we have our gas coming from Russia now. The government is in search of any other alternative resource for the gas, and we're going into the winter, so we really need to have an alternative. It is not really says what the alternative is, but like says that what we're losing. There is something going to happen with Azerbaijan. They are, and Turkmenistan and the other Turkic states which are independent now. They used to be ex-Russia, so we hope to be dealing with something coming over there for the natural gas, which will be okay. In the economy news, there is again main things about Russian issues. We also need to look at to see how is the exchange rate affected since the Fed declared the new interest rates. The pounds is 4.35. It's gone back. It was about before Fed. It was more around 4.5. Euro 3.1 and dollars 2.91. So still the arrows are downwards. So Turkish lira is getting a little bit of a strain. The main headlines today, 18th of December 2015, were like these. I tried to do my best and summarize. This agreement, the new agreement that we have with Israel, actually it's kind of good, because they want us to stop supporting, they want Turkey to stop supporting, not supporting obviously, but to stop any kind of contact even with the Hamas, which is another Islamic formation and is a big threat for Israel. So it says stop any kind of a Hamas activity in Turkey and declare them as terrorists in Turkey is a part of this agreement that we had with Israel. Again, good. So I tried again to summarize today's news for you, and I wish you have a good day. Hope to be here tomorrow again to tell you more. Bye for now.